Ladies, Rosh Chodesh Tov U'Mvorach. So nice to see everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Yehudit Tamayev, a social worker, motivational speaker. I cannot ignore something really big in the room tonight for me. I have here the one person who has given birth to me, who is the crown of my head, who is my everything. She has given me quality, she has given me discipline, she has given me everything that I am today. I owe to my mother. So with your permission, Lina. So of course there's a halacha that you have to respect your parents, and I feel very humbled to speak when my mother is in the room. So with your permission, Ima, I will speak. Okay, so this Rosh Chodesh is Rosh Chodesh Tammuz. And I'm going today to combine last week's parasha with next week's parasha, and in the middle we are going to have obviously Yud Zayin B'Tammuz, the 17th of Tammuz, that is going to happen this month. Last week's parasha was Parashat Beshalach. In this parasha, Hashem is asking Moshe to send meraglim, to send the spies to Eretz Israel, to spy the land, to say good things about the land. But we all know, we're not getting to the whole story. They come back and they say bad things about it, and of course they get punished. They get punished for talking bad about Eretz Israel. Then we have Parashat Korach. We see arguments, we see revolution, we see bad talking. I want to start with a metaphorical story to start this lecture tonight. There was this father. He had 3 girls, beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous. They were healthy, they were smart, they were intelligent. There was nothing like that they are missing. They were so courageous and like everybody loved them. They were amazing. And it was time for them to get married, but the father didn't let them to get married. So people ask him, why don't you want to give your daughters? There are already 3 of them. They want to get married. We want to marry them. He's like, no, these girls are my life. I gave birth to them and they mean everything for me, but I know certain things about my girls that you guys don't, so I rather have them in my house, and until I die, I don't want them to get married. I don't want them to get married. I'm gonna keep them with me home. People were like very devastated about this decision because they're such good girls. But the father didn't say why he does not want to marry his girls off. The entire village knows he's not marrying off his daughters. One day, came to the village a very rich man from another village. And he has 3 boys. He came to shul and he asked around people, do you know any single girls around this area that maybe we should, I want to marry off my sons? And they said, yeah, there are actually 3 sisters, really beautiful, but for whatever reason, their father doesn't want them to get married. He doesn't want to marry them off. So he said, really? Who is this person? And they directed him to this father's house. He comes, he knocks on the door, tuk tuk, hi, hello, my name is so-and-so, I'm Mr. So-and-so. Can we talk? Sure, come, sit down. I have 3 sons. I heard you have 3 daughters. He's like, yeah, I know, but yeah, I really wish you all the best. I hope you find great great brides for your sons, but I'm not marrying off my daughters. So he said, why? Okay, I respect that. I understand. I already heard that from all the people in the city that you're not marrying off your daughters. I get it. But can you explain why? Just between us. And you know what he says to him? He said, look, every person has their pros and cons. I know the cons of my daughters, and they're really big. And I'm really worried that if I'm gonna marry off my daughters, then their husbands are not gonna respect them. Their in-laws are going to shame them, to try to discipline them, to try to correct them. I haven't. I spoiled my daughters. And I rather them stay with me, safe and spoiled, and the way they are. It's like, sir, why don't you just tell me? Tell me, what is it that your daughters have? So he said, okay, I'm gonna tell you. So the first one is very energetic. She's charismatic. She is talented. Everybody loves her. She's really something special. But she has a condition. It's actually a psychological condition. It's called kleptomania. Kleptomania. Does anybody knows what kleptomania is?
Yes.
What is it?
You steal.
Steals. She loves to steal. She's just, I don't know if she loves it. She just can't without it. It's a diagnosis actually in a DSM-5. Her hands are long. She loves to steal all the time. Oh, she can't help it. You leave something, and how can I marry her off? She'll go to her in-laws' house. She'll steal. Her husband will be shamed. He'll put her to shame. I can't marry her off. He said, that's all? That's all she has, your daughter? He's like, yes. Don't worry, my dear. On me. I'm gonna take her. I'm gonna take care of her. No, sir, I told you. I'm gonna make sure your girl is safe and happy. Okay. What's the second problem? The second girl, what's with her? Oh, what should I tell you? She is known in the community. Drop dead gorgeous diva. Like she is so smart and intelligent, but she has a problem. What's the problem? That girl, she wakes up at 11 a.m. every day, maybe 12, 1 p.m. She is lazy beyond. She never cleans, she never cooks. She doesn't even eat herself. Everything has to be, she needs to be fed. She is all day on the couch. He's like, oh my gosh. She's like, yeah, what am I gonna do? So he's like, that's everything? He's like, yeah, that's everything. He's like, on me. On you? No, listen, which husband is gonna be okay with the woman not moving? Your son is going to scream at her, he's going to yell at her, he's going to reprimand her. Your wife, I know at some point, maybe in the beginning, you're just saying yes, but my daughter, she's everything to me. He said, sir, your daughter will have a beautiful life. Give her to me as a bride to my second son. You got it. You got it. He got 2 daughters. He can't believe it. He got 2 daughters. What's the problem with the third one? He's like, oh, it's my baby, my spoiled one, my sweetheart. She is so sweet and adorable, and she's basically mi vida. She's my life. She's everything for me. So what's her problem? Unfortunately, that girl, she's never satisfied. She's never happy. She always complains. Her school is not good, the food is not good, the clothes are big, the clothes are small. Whatever I do for her, she's not happy. So, he says, that's all? That's all. On me. Sir, no. Okay, this is already exaggeration. The little one you live with me, it's a little tough to deal with this, I understand. And she's my baby, and I know it's hard. I would never want to see her cry. I want to make sure that she's safe and she's good and she's taken care of, and that nobody's bothering her and nobody's telling her that she's always so negative and she's always so complaining, and it's never easy to satisfy her, and her husband is gonna be mean to her and agitated with her, frustrated with her. I don't want that. He's like, sir, I told you I got her. Don't worry about it. Okay, tank takadam, there is 2 villages coming together into one town, 3 weddings in 1 week, everybody's happy. Mazel tov, there's 3 weddings, the 3 famous bachelorettes are getting married, finally they're getting married to these 3 rich boys from this very chashuv, famous family, okay? Now, the weddings are off, everything is good, 7 days of wedding, everything's so happy, everybody's going to their home. After 1 year, the father receives a letter from the youngest one. And the letter says, Abba, I'm suffering here. I can't take it. Please come. Pick me up. Take me back home. He read that letter. He was like, oh my gosh. Listen, I know my daughter, she always complains. But how am I going to know if it's real or not? Like, I really need to go and observe. I mean, it could be abuse. Anyways, like, I know her, but her nature, but maybe it's real this time. I need to see. So he writes a letter, express letter, back to the father-in-law. And he says, listen, it's been a year. I miss my daughters. I want to see them. He gets a letter back saying, don't worry, sir. Please come. We're looking forward to seeing you, preparing a whole nice meal, and excited to see the father of the girls coming to town after a year. Everybody's so happy and excited and preparing, and the father comes finally after a year. He knocks on his oldest daughter's door. He knocks on her door, tuk tuk. She says, who is this? And he said, it's Abba, it's Daddy. And she says, oh my God, Daddy, I can't believe you're here. She runs to the door, she opens the door. And he's like, whoa, she lives in a mansion and she's so excited and everything is going for her. And he's like, so, how are you, my love? How are you doing? How is life treating you? How is marriage life? And she goes, Abba, I don't know how I got so lucky in my life. I have everything. I have food, I have clothes, I have a beautiful mansion, I have all the jewelry in the world you got. And then as she's talking and she's so excited to talk about how amazing her life is, her father notices that she has a belt around her waist. And that belt has many keys. And he asks her, what's this? And then she's like, Papa, you won't believe it. And she goes, what? He goes, what happened? He's like, my father-in-law, he's rich like Korach. This guy, he's loaded. Okay, no, so he's like, and you know what? They think that I'm so smart that they nominated me to be the head of all their assets. So they gave me the keys to all the rooms. The father looks to Shamayim and he says, I don't know how to thank you, Hashem. How does a person with a mental illness, she ends up with a man and a father-in-law, and somehow so smart they worked it out, and now she's so happy. I just can't believe it. And he's like, my love, I'm so happy to see that your life is great. And she takes, she takes assets from one place to another, from one bank account to one bank account. She transfers things from room to room, basically from pocket to pocket. Worked out. It's like, my love, where is your second sister live? How is she? Oh, Dad, I don't know. I'm very busy all day, You see, the nature of my life. I'm very busy. I don't really get to talk to her, but she lives in this place, okay? He goes there and he knocks on the door, tuk tuk, and he hears, yes, who is this? And he goes, my love, it's Abba, it's Daddy. Oh, Abba, I'm so happy you're here. And he knocks on the door for like 5-10 minutes. Nobody opens the door. Guess why? She's very lazy. Eventually she goes, excuse me, one of my maids said, excuse me, do you hear somebody said, can you open the door for my dad? And one of the maids goes to the door and opens the door for her dad. And he runs into the house, and it's a mansion, it's huge. He runs around looking for her, and he's like, my daughter. And she's like, yeah, until she talks, and until she, yeah. Finally, he follows her voice, and he finds her in some really fancy room, sitting on a huge couch. Her hands are open like this, her legs are spread. She has these two feathers blowing at her. She has girls dancing in front of her, a beautiful aromatherapy. She has a massage therapist behind her. She's sitting around, getting her manicure, pedicure done. He looks at her, he's like, my love, how are you? How is your life? And she goes, Abba, do I need to say any more than what you see? My life is dvash, she's honey. I have everything I want. And he watches her and he's like, she has this coconut in her hand and she's obese. She became big. 1 year. So he says, oh yes, I see you have a very good life. I can tell you have a very good life. She's like, yeah, Dad, I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I don't have to do anything. All day I sit on this couch and I even have this special machine that lifts me from my chair to my bed. I don't have to do nothing in my life. I love my life. And the father looks at Shamayim and he says, Hashem, how did I win the lottery without playing the lottery? How did I get so lucky? Thank you so much, he goes. Thank you. He goes to her, so where is your youngest sister live? Where does she live? And she says, Dad, I'm not really sure, He's like, you're not in touch? She's like, no, the oldest one is always busy running up around. I was like, she's not there. And the younger one is, she always complains, I don't have time for this. And he's like, okay, but where does she live? She said, one of the maids, can you please tell my father where my younger sister lives? Okay. So he goes to the younger sister, he knocks on the door. And she asks, who is this? And he goes, Dad. She runs to the door. She starts crying. She's shaking from crying. Dad, I can't believe you're here. I have a miserable life. Please take me back home. She's shaking. She's hugging him. And he's really worried. He's like, come, my love. What happened? Tell me. I can't take it. What happened? My husband goes every day to work. Okay, and I never get to see him. Yes, sweetheart, you live in a mansion. You drive a very fancy car. You have all this jewelry. Somebody has to support this. He goes to work. He needs to go to work. That's normal. No, my husband, when he comes home, and I get to talk to him, and I want to talk to him, and my clothes, and my this, and whenever he buys me any piece of jewelry, it's not what I want. Anything he does for her, she cries. And the father sits there and he's listening, he doesn't hear anything. He says, okay, he knows his daughter, that's her. And then she's like, and the worst thing of all, my father-in-law, every day, when my husband leaves to work, my father-in-law comes here. And you know what he does? He's like, what does he do? He comes and he tells me that I'm his life and that he's like a father to me. And that he'll do everything for me. And he tells me I'll tell my husband to come home earlier. And he tells me that he'll tell him to tell me choose my jewelry and spend more time with me. But he tries to touch me and I can't. He what? He what? Yeah, she said, you see tomorrow when he goes to shul, you're gonna see it yourself. You go under the table and you're gonna watch the whole process yourself. And that's exactly what happens. The next day, the husband comes to, in the morning, he's about to go to work. And she starts crying. You always leave me. How can you do this to me? You just came from shul. Why can't you stay? Blah, 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 this, that. He leaves. And then a couple of minutes later, her father-in-law comes. And she starts crying. He's like, just like every day. He left me again, you see, this, that, he's never gonna work out, he's never gonna make me happy, you promised my father, you this, you that. And he goes to her, sweetheart, don't worry, I'm here for you. I'll take care of all your needs. I'll talk to my son. I'll have him come home a little bit earlier. I'll have him take you out to a fancy restaurant just like you like. And you get to choose wherever you want to go. You get to go buy new clothes. You choose your jewelry. Don't worry. And then she puts her head on the table. She's like, she starts crying. He wanted to, he just went like this on her head, like, don't worry, I'm here for you. He's like, don't touch me! Don't touch me! As soon as she goes, don't touch me, her father comes out of the table and he starts hitting and beating the father-in-law who he wanted to kiss and hug just 2 minutes ago. He wanted to thank him from the bottom of his heart. Now he wants to kill him from the bottom of his heart. And he started hurting him and beating him and the father already started losing conscious. And right before he's losing conscious, his son forgot to take something. So he comes home to take whatever he forgot, and he sees his father-in-law hitting his father, and his father is already bleeding. Right away, it's time to stop and just nothing to talk about. They start fighting, this, that. Her father gives him another punch, and unfortunately, he dies. The Khatan sees that his father is dead. He starts fighting with the father-in-law. Father-in-law and Khatan hitting each other. The father-in-law is almost about to die now. He's about to give him his last punch into his face. And his wife, meaning the daughter of this father-in-law, she comes into him right in front to go to protect her father. And of course, he was already in this thing to hit the father, and he hit his own wife. And of course, this little thing all the time crying, oh, it's dehydrated. She died on the spot. On the spot. The father saw that his daughter is dead. He started fighting again with the Khatan, and of course the Khatan won, and the father-in-law is dead as well. Now, obviously, it's a metaphorical story. It's not a true story, okay? It's not real. But the point of the story is to tell us something really important about life. When we speak Lashon Hara kills 3 people. It kills the person who speaks, it kills the person who heard, and it obviously kills the person who is being spoken about. This coming parasha is Parashat Korach. In Parashat Korach, we all know the famous Chazal, the famous quote of Shlomo HaMelech, the smartest, the wisest man of all, who said, "Chochmot nashim banta beita ve'iveret be'adat te'arsena." A wise woman will build her house, and a foolish woman will destroy her house. Who is that smart woman? Is the wife of On ben Pelet, which was one of the people who from the group of Korach, and who was the foolish woman, was the wife of Korach. Why was she smart, and why was the other one foolish? Also because of the tongue. It says the Ben Ish Chai from the book of Ne'aflotecha Esicha, he says that Korach's wife, first of all, Korach and his wife were very lucky people. Obviously, we all know when we want to refer to somebody as very rich, what do we say? Rich like who? Rich like Korach. Korach was very rich, but does anybody know where he got his money from? All his abundance, from where? He found one of the treasures that Yosef HaTzadik hid before he died. And from this money, he became the richest man in the universe. And so his wife, obviously the richest woman in the universe. At the time, she used to wear bangles and bracelets all from her shoulders all the way to her wrist on both sides. She would wear a lot of jewelry, diamonds, pearls, different expensive and natural stones. And you know what she used to do? To go in the desert. She would go from tent to tent to show everybody all her jewelry. And one time, she met Tzipora. Tzipporah was the wife of Moshe Rabbeinu. She was the most famous woman at the time because the wife of Moshe Rabbeinu, but she was not rich. And the wife of Korach comes, we'll call her Korachit, I'm not sure what's her name, but maybe Korachit. So Korachit goes to Tzipporah and she asks her, so, what kind of jewelry do you have? Do you even have a ring? Anything? And she says, no, but I'm happy the way I am. I'm happy about my life. I'm satisfied with what I have, and what I don't have, I'm good. Hashem saw this. And he eventually asks Moshe Rabbeinu to build the 2 tablets of stone. And he tells him to build it from a very expensive material called the snapirion. He builds that from a specific material called the snapirion. It's the most expensive material in the world, obviously. And from the remnants of these 2 tablets of stone, Moshe Rabbeinu asks him, what should I do with it? Hashem says, take it for yourself. And that's how Moshe Rabbeinu gains a lot of money as well. But what does he do with this remnant of snapirion? He takes this and he makes a beautiful ring for his wife, Tzipporah. So Tzipporah wears this beautiful ring that her husband made her. And again, as usual, Korachit goes in the midbar, showing everybody what she's got, and pinching Tzipporah. And then all of a sudden, she sees a huge, beautiful, sparkling ring on Tzipporah's hand. And she notices that it's from the same material, and she gets so jealous. חז"ל תלס, הקינה, התאווה והכבוד מוציאים את האדם מן העולם. When a person has jealousy, has this will, has this yearning for something all the time. He's always yearning, he or she is yearning for something that is not good, or always yearning for something, then this something is going to run away from them. If a person is jealous or yearning or chasing after the kavod, after respect and honor, the respect and the honor run away from them. So now, Korachit wants Tzipporah's ring, and she gets so jealous. So what she's gonna do is, we all know, is gonna happen. She is going to take her away from the world, but not only her, the entire family, the entire group of people. It says there is a story in Israel that says that this man wanted to sell. He was from Yerushalayim. He wanted to sell his car. He was trying to sell his car for a long time. Didn't work out. He started decreasing the price so it sells, but nobody buys it. One day, after 2 months that he's trying to sell it, there's just 2 youngsters come over to him. He's like, "Hey, you, is your car still for sale?" He's like, "Yeah." He says on on the thing that my car is for sale. They're like, "How much do you want for it?" So he said, $20,000. It's an older car, like $20,000. So they go, "Listen, it's too much, this, that." They negotiate, of course. $15,000, they're okay. Okay, let's go, let's do it. "No, but we need to take it to the mechanic first." "Okay, I'm okay with it. Let's go take it to the mechanic." They're like, "No, we can't go to the mechanic in Yerushalayim. There is one mechanic in Tel Aviv that we like to go to." So he said, "Okay, we're gonna go with you to Tel Aviv." They go together to Tel Aviv to the mechanic. As the mechanic finishes his checkup on the car, the 2 youngsters disappear. They just wanted a ride. They used this man to just use a ride. This man was like, "Hashem, all I want is just to sell my car, whatever. I don't know what to do anymore." And he drives off back to Yerushalayim. And on the traffic light, somebody beeps to him and wants to ask him about the car. And this time, he's already tired. He's like, anyways, they're not going to buy it, They just want to, how much, everybody, how much, but they're not buying at the end. So he decided to just say a price. He said, $50,000. He knows they're going to say no. $50,000, this is the exact car my wife wants. She wants this color inside and outside. She wants it the way I'm ready to do it. And he bought it. It says, בשמך יקראוך ובמושבך יושיבוך. אין אדם נוגע במה שמונח לחברו, אפילו לא במנו מינה. Meaning, Whenever your name is called, nobody will stand up instead of you. The seat that is designated for you, nobody will sit in that seat. Whatever is meant for you, nobody can touch. And what's meant for somebody else, nobody can touch. So Korachit, you have the money. Not only the money, you also have a great husband. She was from Seven, they were from Shevet Levi. They had important position in Bet HaMikdash. And not only that, she had great children. It's known in the Tehillim, there's at least 57 pastors that says, L'Natzeach Mizmor Livnei Korach Mizmor. She had amazing children. She had everything going for her, but she couldn't stand the fact that Tzipporah, she's got that ring. Tzipporah, she's the wife of Moshe, of the leader. I got to have the fame too. I got to be in this position too. She was chasing after the kavod. She was chasing after whatever wasn't hers. And therefore she was taken away from this world. And with this I'm going to finish, connecting this to Yud B'Tammuz. Yud B'Tammuz, I'm not going to get into the story of Kamsa Bar Kamsa. I'm sure all of you, most of you know the story of Bar Kamsa. When Bar Kamsa was chased away from the wedding that he went to of his friend, he was so hurt that nobody stood up for him and said, hey, it's not nice, why are you chasing him away in front of everybody? He went to the Roman Emperor and he told on the Jewish people. And because he told on the Jewish people, their Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, and until today, we are suffering. So from last week's Parsha to this week's Parsha, Parshat Korach, to Yud B'Tammuz, we learn the importance of not speaking Lashon Hara and how destructive Lashon Hara can be. So today, we are going to accept upon ourselves. I'm not telling you all your life. I'm not telling you 1 year. I'm not even telling you 1 month. You choose how long. For me, it's 1 hour a day. For me, that I say to myself, I am not speaking Lashon Hara, and I am not reading Lashon Hara. So if in this particular hour somebody has to call me and vent, I tell them, listen, I would love to hear what you have to say, but not this hour. This hour is designated for me to hear only Divrei Torah. Let's talk tonight. It's not the best way to talk about things later, right? That you're not supposed to hear. But at least I have this designated hour that I don't hear and don't speak Lashon Hara. I don't judge people. I try to actually judge people to give them the benefit of the doubt. And with this, I bless you all and the entire Jewish people, that our tongue that is guarded by teeth and by our lips. 2 guards Hashem gave us. Put the mezuzah right here. That's what actually Korach asked Moshe. A house full of Sifrei Torah, does it need a mezuzah? Yes, it needs a mezuzah. You could be praying, you could be doing chasadim, you could be the most kindest, compassionate person. You could be saying that tefillot on time, you can pray on time. But if your mouth is dirty, if your mouth is cursing, if your mouth is saying Lashon Hara, if your ears hear Lashon Hara, then guess what? That's not what Hashem wants. So I bless you all to have Shalom Bayit Be'ezrat Hashem. Parnasa, Atzlecha, Briut, everything that your heart desires should come into fruition this year. And we should also see Bet HaMikdash Bekarov Mamash. Chodesh Tov.
Thank you for coming tonight. And thank you for organizing, of course, to Yehudit and the DJ over here, making so much beautiful here. And we're going to continue with that every month.
Come into fruition this week, this month. Amen. Thank you so much for joining